I'm now just 7 weeks away from the ultra run event, so I thought it'd be worth giving you an update at this point to see where I've come from, where I'm going in terms of training plans I've gone through and upcoming training plans leading up to the event. So I'm going to go through a few things, including the run training, additional training, diet and the equipment. What I found to begin with was it was hard to do long runs. Not hard in terms of getting out there and running, but hard finding somewhere to run for that long. I was doing loops and I was getting bored of passing the same thing continuously. Then I realised I live near a canal and the canals go forever. So that was brilliant. So I've effectively running down the canals, getting to an end point and Forrest Gump style turning around and coming home again. So splitting the long run distance I wanted to do in half, straight there, straight back. The other benefit of that was that obviously in training runs, doing long runs, you haven't got aid stations, but I found the shops along the way. So I've been shifting my own aid stations by stopping off at Co-op along the way, refilling my water, grabbing some snacks, fuel and carrying on. So canals have absolutely been a lifesaver in terms of finding somewhere to run. But then the other issue is, on the event, I'm doing Race to the Stones, it's a trail running event. So there's a lot of hills and up and down. So I've had to mix that up with hill loops locally, just going around Chasewater, doing some hills up and down. And then for my last long run, I decided to step away from the canals and just do trails. So I ran from mine, I live near to one of the largest natural forests, Cannock Chase. So I ran to Cannock Chase, ran a circle loop of that a few times, just pretty much covered the whole of the chase. I managed to do about 35 miles of Cannock Chase, which included some brutal hills, some declines, some ducking under fallen trees because it was after a storm, some climbing over fallen trees, all in that long run. So the mixture of all that has really helped with my training, I've found. Now I'm having to find shops along the route. So when I was running through Cannock Chase, I found, I think it must be the last Wimpy in the world, got a couple of burgers, bombed one, put one in my backpack for later, and stashed that, filled up with water there as well. And it's weird that I've got to find these shops now along the route because I'm running that far. Whereas on the day, there's going to be aid stations every 10k, essentially. So I'm running 10k, which is 6 miles to the next aid station. It's 62 miles in total, so it's 10 of those. So I'm going to break it down by, I've only got to make the next 10k mentally rather than thinking I've got to go for that full 62 mile. And it's weird that 10k used to be a goal for me. You know, I remember trying to run 10k. And now it's just an aid station. So it's amazing how fast you can come on, and anybody can come on with your running. My long runs, I did 34 miles, a bad run that I hated. Cooper came with me for that, not running all the way, but he came along on his bike, ran for a bit of it, and it was just a bad run. I felt crap the whole time. I just wasn't with it. I was aching. I just wasn't having a nice time that day. But then I did the same distance again, which is when I did the trial run, and I just loved it. The whole time, even though I was aching the same amount in my legs and so forth, it was enjoyable. So you have those good days and bad days, and I think the mixture up of moving away from the canal into the trail really helped me enjoy it a bit more because I didn't know what was coming around the next corner, and that's what really helped. So yeah, I'm up to about 35 miles distance now. My next run, long run I'm doing, which will be around about 40 odd miles ish, between the 40 to 45 miles ish. I'm just setting a time to go out rather than distance. That'll be in 3 weeks. So this week now I'm just getting miles on the legs. So I'm aiming to run during the week, a course of about 40 miles in total for the week. Then the week after that, I'm aiming to run around about 55 to 60 miles total during the week. And then after that will be my last long run before I taper back down then towards the event. So I'll hit that 40 odd miles ish, then I'll taper back down to like 28-ish, 30-ish miles, then down to 20 miles, then back down to 10 and back down ready for the long run on the day. So just to summarise in terms of run training, I've been tapering up. So started off at around about half marathon, I've been moving up and up. Technically an ultra run is anything over a marathon distance. So I've already done ultra runs now in my 30 odd miles of training. Tapering that up, you know, if you used to go out and do that straight away, you'd do yourself an injury. So I've built that up, build it up to that 40 odd miles ish mark and taper back down and just getting miles on the legs throughout the week. That's what's been important. Okay, so additional training. A lot of people think it's all about running. It's not. Every book I've read, everything I've looked into in ultra training talks about getting your core strength. So odd days throughout the week when I've done a run, alternate days I've built in core and strength training, which is involved using the roller to build up my core, stomach muscles there, using this sort of pull down machine at the gym to build up core, basic sit-ups, moving weights left to right, holding weights side to side, anything around the core. I've been hanging from a pull-up bar with a dumbbell between my legs, pulling that up, building up that core, and just building up arms, back and strength as well, because at the end of the day, after 62 miles, it's literally going to be the only thing left holding you up is your core. And that's really important, and it's something that I've found has really helped as well. So the training for ultra running isn't all just about running. You've really got to build in that strength and core training as well if you're going to make it the full distance. On top of that, I've also been doing some stretching and dipping into some yoga classes. So again, it's about just getting that full body motion, getting your full body moving, so you're not going to have those aches or pains, and you can highlight anything now that might cause an issue on the day, hoping that all this will help me make it the distance. Diet's been fairly good. You know, I have a cheat day once a week where I have bomb a nice pizza, and some days I might have a couple, but I don't feel too bad about it, because when I'm doing my long runs, I'm burning like 10,000 calories in one sitting. I'm burning calories throughout the week, so it's just making sure I'm eating good stuff. So, you know, like meats, protein, chicken. I'll have a protein shake at lunch with some banana in and an egg in and things like that. Just making sure I'm eating good stuff and plenty of it, and replenishing. And then on the runs, making sure I'm eating on the runs as well. So I'll always take some meatloaf with me, and I'll top up the shops and maybe get some like protein or snack bars at the shops, continuous water, maybe just an energy drink if I'm feeling low on sugar. I'm trying to stay away from the sugar on the runs as much as possible, so I'm not relying on gels. So then when the sugar does go, you get that, what they call the runner's bonk. So I'm trying to avoid sugar as much as possible and rely on everything else, so I don't get that dropout on the day by relying on sugar and glucose to burn. Onto my equipment. One thing I get asked a lot is, do you listen to music on your runs, especially when I'm out for 6, 7, 8 hours on these long runs? Don't you get bored? And no, I don't listen to music or anything at all, especially when I was running through Cannock Chase. It was great just seeing all the different views, taking in the sights, and I find it meditative, if that's a word, meditating, just relaxing, just getting out there, running, taking the sights. You know, I start out early in the morning, sometimes 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. You see the early morning dog walkers, and they, morning, how you doing, you right? And you know, you just get out there and enjoy the sights. So, and on the day, I'm not going to be listening to music, there's going to be a lot going on, so I just find music more of a hindrance. I like to just be in the moment, understand what's going on with my body, how I'm feeling, if I'm hungry, and just get in that moment of the run. So yeah, no music for me. Other equipment, I've actually invested in some calf guards early on. I don't know if I've mentioned this in one of my other videos as of yet, but calf guards have really helped. After my runs to begin with, it was always my calves that were wrecking. First time I tried calf guards, afterwards I was like, oh my god, my calves aren't hurting as much. They were still aching, but just not as much. So calf guards have really helped. The ultra vest that I've got, the Solomon ultra vest, has been really useful because I've just got all my water in that. I'm carrying about 1.5 litres of water with me at a time. Shove all my food in the back. I've got like a windproof fold-up Mac that sort of folds up into its own pocket that I can shove in the back. So if I'm getting cold, I can bang that on. So the ultra vest has been really useful as well. And I've had got a runner's belt, which I've found is useful because my phone and wallet and things tend to just jump around in the runner's vest, even though you can try and squeeze them in as tight as you can. But the runner's belt is like a flat sort of elastic belt that I can slot my phone into, slot my wallet in as I need it now for stopping off at the shops, buying water and replenishing and so forth. And that just sits tight around the waist, and that's really helped as well. Other equipment, I've just had some new trainers, some new running shoes ready for the event. Bought them now because they're on offer, and I also had a discount code. But I'll explain this because these were my original running shoes. Now I went for these. These are the Innovate Ultra 260s, I think. Yeah, let me double check. The Terra Ultra 260. Yeah. And now these are ultra running trainers. You can see they're trail trainers, so they've got the grip at the bottom there. And I've got quite wide feet, and I've started to get black toes because one of the runners were banging. And these come with the Innovates I've found have got a wider edge, so these have really helped. Even though my toe had already taken the damage now, so I do wrap that up now when I'm out running to stop my toenail falling off. I'm sure it'll come off eventually. But I've been running in these Terra Ultra 260s, and these have been absolutely brilliant. Now the reason I ran in these is because on the day a lot of people talk about swapping shoes and so forth because they might not take the mileage. Now these are good for about 500 miles, and I'm close to doing that in them now. I must be on about 400-ish on these now. But I wore these because I knew the trainers that I wanted on the day were the next ones up for these, which are the exact same shape, exact same model, but they've got the G, you know, they're called the Gs, which means they're made from graphene, and those turned up today. So I'll show you these. Innovate G series unboxing. The world's toughest grip. So these, I've got some sort of scientific graphite, something or other built into them. So these are good for 1,000 miles. Look at those bad boys. Nice. As you can see, the exact same shape and model structure as the others. So I'm not going to have that issue with swapping trainers and with my feet getting used to one sort of style, cadence and grip and everything like that with the trainers. I'm not going to have that issue because of the exact same fit and style. But the graphene ones, so they will last a lot longer. They've got the grip built into them, and as I say, they're good for 1,000 miles running in these. So these are what I'm going to wear on the day. I bought these now. Bought them from sportshoes.com because that website is absolutely brilliant. You can get them on there cheaper than you can get on the actual Innovate website. They had a sale on and had a discount code as well, so I got a really good offer on them. So if you are after any trainers or any running equipment at all, I definitely recommend checking out that website. Lastly, in terms of equipment, I always run in one of these sort of schmuck folding bandana type things because I find they're really useful. Just because keep the sun off my shiny head when it's cold, pull them over my ears. And if you find yourself caught short and you've got to stop off in a bush somewhere, you can't find anything to wipe with, they also come in pretty handy for that as well. So that is my summation of where I'm up to so far. Fingers crossed I'll make it to the event and make it the full distance. I'm feeling pretty confident, bar any injuries or issues along the way. Looking forward to it now. Or am I? That is my summation of where I'm up to now, from starting at a half marathon, building up to already doing ultra distances now, ready for the 62 miles on the day. Feeling like I'm ready now, feeling like I can make the distance, even though I know I'll be in pain at the end and there'll be pain going on throughout my whole body. I know that's going to be happening, I'm ready for that, I'm expecting that, but I feel I can make the distance. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see.